The strange classmate. The day started like any other for Arjun. He walked into his classroom with his books in hand, ready for another long lecture. Life was simple, predictable, and boring in a way. He sat near the window, always choosing the same seat. He liked to look outside when the teacher spoke. It gave him a little escape, a little dream of something bigger. But that morning, something different happened. The teacher walked in with a new student. Everyone turned their heads. Curious, the boy standing next to the teacher looked strange. His name was Cairn. At least that was what he said. His voice was low, calm, almost too calm. His eyes were sharp, almost glowing. His skin was pale, but not sickly pale, more like the color of moonlight. And when he smiled, it looked forced, like he had practiced it in front of a mirror, but never really understood it. The teacher introduced him quickly. "This is Cairn. He will be joining us from today," she said. No one asked from where, but everyone wondered. His accent was unusual, not from any place they knew. His clothes were neat but strange, a little old-fashioned, not like the modern style the other students wore. Arjun felt something stir inside him. He didn't know why, but he felt drawn to Cairn. There was something odd, something hidden. The other students whispered among themselves. Some laughed quietly, others ignored him. But Arjun kept watching. The first few days were quiet. Cairn never talked much. He answered questions politely, but never gave away anything personal. He ate nothing during lunch. He just sat there, looking at the others. Sometimes he took small notes in a strange notebook. The writing didn't look like English, not even like any language Arjun had ever seen. The symbols looked alive, like they were moving. When he stared too long, Arjun wanted to ask, but he stopped himself. He thought maybe he was just imagining it. But deep down, he knew something was different. One afternoon, Arjun noticed something else during sports class. When everyone was running, Cairn ran too, but it was strange. He never seemed to get tired. His breathing was calm, his steps smooth, too smooth for a normal human. He ran like a machine. Perfect rhythm, perfect speed. Not too fast to be noticed, but fast enough to never fall behind. Arjun's curiosity grew day by day. He decided to observe more closely, and that's when he noticed something chilling. During a science experiment, the teacher lit a Bunsen burner. The flame burned bright. Most students kept a safe distance, but Cairn leaned closer. His eyes reflected the flame, but not in a normal way. They glowed brighter, like his eyes were feeding on the light. Arjun's breath caught in his throat. No one else seemed to notice, but Arjun did. That night, Arjun couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Cairn. Who was he really? Why was he here? Why did he act so unnatural? The next morning, things became stranger. Arjun was walking home from school when he heard footsteps behind him. He turned. It was Cairn. He walked with the same calm steps, his gaze fixed ahead. He didn't smile, didn't speak, just followed at a short distance. Arjun felt nervous. He thought maybe it was just coincidence. Maybe Cairn lived in the same direction. But when he turned left, Cairn turned left. When he stopped, Cairn stopped. Finally, Arjun gathered courage and asked, "Are you following me?" Cairn paused, looked at him with those glowing eyes and said softly, "I wanted to see where you live." Arjun froze. Who says something like that? Who admits something so strange so easily? Cairn tilted his head, as if studying him. "You have something different about you," he said quietly. "I can feel it." Arjun didn't know what to reply. His heart raced. He forced a laugh. "You're weird, you know that?" Cairn gave a small nod. "Yes, I know," he said simply. Then he smiled again, the same practiced, unnatural smile. When Arjun reached home, he hurried inside. He thought that would be the end, but a few minutes later, there was a knock at his door. Arjun opened it slowly, his breath caught. Cairn stood there, right outside, looking calm, looking certain. "May I come in?" Cairn asked. His voice was polite, but there was something heavy in it. Something serious. Arjun hesitated. His mind screamed no, but his curiosity whispered yes. And so, He opened the door wider, letting the strange classmate enter his room for the very first time. The unexpected visit. Cairn stepped inside slowly. His movements were calm, careful, almost too perfect. He looked around the small room with wide eyes, as if every corner was filled with secrets. Arjun stood by the door, unsure. He had never invited a classmate to his room, and definitely not this one. Something about the way Cairn's gaze moved across the walls made his skin crawl. Cairn walked closer to the desk. He picked up a book and turned it in his hand. His fingers traced the cover like it was some ancient artifact. Then he whispered, almost to himself, "So this is how humans really live." Arjun frowned. "What do you mean, humans?" "You talk like you're not one," he said, trying to sound brave. Cairn's strange eyes flickered toward him, glowing faintly in the light. "Maybe I am not," he replied softly. His tone wasn't joking. It was serious, heavy. Arjun laughed nervously. "You're weird, man, really weird." But inside, his heart raced. Cairn ignored the comment. He was too busy studying the room. His gaze fell on the mirror near the corner. He walked toward it slowly, almost drawn to it. Arjun watched as Cairn stood in front of the mirror. At first, everything seemed normal. But then, Arjun's breath caught. The reflection was wrong. In the mirror, Cairn's face shimmered like water. His skin flickered, showing patterns, lines, glowing marks that were not human. His real form was bleeding through, just for a second. Then it vanished, and the reflection was human again. Arjun's throat went dry. He whispered, What was that?" Cairn's jaw tightened. His smile returned, but it was even more forced now. "You shouldn't have seen that," he said quietly. The air in the room grew heavy. For the first time, Arjun felt true fear, but Cairn didn't attack, didn't hurt him. Instead, he turned back to the room. His eyes scanned the walls, the shelves, the floor. Finally, his gaze stopped at the bed. He walked toward it slowly, bent down, and pointed under it. "There," he said. "That box." Arjun blinked. Confused, what box? He crouched down and pulled out an old wooden box, dusty and worn. It had always been there, passed down from his grandfather. Arjun never paid much attention to it. He thought it was just a family keepsake, but Cairn's expression changed. His calm face cracked for the first time. His eyes widened in shock. "This should not exist here," Cairn whispered. His hands trembled slightly as he reached for the box. "This belongs to my world." Arjun felt his chest tighten. He stumbled back. "What are you talking about?" "That's my grandfather's old box." Cairn shook his head. "No," he said firmly. "This is not from Earth." Arjun's mind spun. He wanted to deny it, to laugh, to call Cairn insane. But deep down, something inside him knew the truth. Something about the box, about Cairn, about everything. It all felt connected. Cairn slowly touched the box. His pale fingers brushed against the old wood, and then the box glowed. A faint light seeped out of the cracks, filling the room with a strange, unearthly shine. Arjun gasped, stumbling back, his eyes wide with shock. His voice cracked. "What is happening?" Cairn looked at him, and for the first time, there was no fake smile, no calm mask, only raw truth in his voice. "You were never meant to have this," he said, "but now everything will change." The glow grew brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. Shadows danced on the walls. The air felt alive, humming with strange energy. Arjun's heart pounded. He wanted to run, to scream, but he couldn't. His eyes were locked on the box. And Cairn, the strange classmate, the not-so-human boy, whispered the words that would change everything. "This is only the beginning." The secret revealed. The glow from the wooden box filled the room, soft at first, then brighter, like a hidden star had awakened. Arjun shielded his eyes. His heart beat loud in his ears. Cairn's face looked different in the light. His skin shimmered faintly. Thin lines of glowing patterns appeared across his cheeks and neck, like a map of stars written on his body. For the first time, Arjun saw him not as a student, but as something else entirely. "What are you?" Arjun whispered, his voice trembling. Karen did not answer right away. He stared at the glowing box with a strange mix of fear and longing. Finally, he said softly, "I am not from this planet." The words hung heavy in the air. Arjun's knees felt weak. He stumbled back until his back hit the wall. His mind screamed that this was impossible. But the glowing box in front of him said otherwise. "I came here to study your kind," Karen continued. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with intensity. "To learn about humans, to understand you." Arjun shook his head quickly. No, you're lying. You're crazy. This is some trick." Karen looked at him, his gaze steady. "Do you really think this is a trick?" he asked. He lifted the box gently, and the glow pulsed stronger. The air around it seemed to vibrate, humming like a quiet song. Arjun's throat went dry. He wanted to deny everything, but he couldn't. The light, the patterns, the words, none of it was human. Why me?" Arjun asked finally. "Why are you in my room? Why that box?" Karen took a long breath, then said, "Because your family is connected, more than you know." Arjun froze. "My family?" "Yes," Karen said. "This box belongs to my world. It was lost centuries ago. No human should ever have it, and yet, here it is, under your bed." Arjun's head spun. He remembered his grandfather's words when he was little, how he always said, "Keep the box safe. One day you will understand." At the time, it felt like an old man's riddle. Now, it felt like a warning. "This doesn't make sense," Arjun muttered. "My grandfather was just a teacher. My family is normal." "Normal?" Karen's eyes narrowed. "No human family is given a relic of another world. This box is not just old wood. It is technology, living technology." He pressed his palm against the box. The glow responded instantly, spreading across his hand like veins of light. The patterns on his skin matched the light perfectly. Arjun's jaw dropped, his voice cracked. It knows you." Karen nodded slowly. "Because it is part of my people, and now it is tied to you." The air grew colder, heavier. Arjun felt like the walls were closing in. "Why me?" he repeated, his voice breaking. Karen turned to him. His glowing eyes locked onto Arjun's. "Because your grandfather wasn't just a teacher. He knew us. He worked with us." Arjun's heart stopped for a second. His grandfather, kind, gentle, human, was connected to aliens? "You are not chosen by accident," Karen said. "That box is a bridge between our worlds, and now, because you opened it, you are part of the secret." Arjun shook his head. "No, I don't want this. I don't want any of this." His voice cracked, but the glow kept pulsing stronger, filling the room with waves of light. Karen's voice dropped lower, almost a whisper. "It is too late. Once awakened, it cannot be hidden again." Arjun felt sweat on his forehead. His hands shook. He tried to push the box away, but it clung to his touch like it was alive, like it wanted him. "Stop!" Arjun shouted, but the light only grew brighter. Karen looked at him with something close to pity. "Now you understand why I came to your room. It was never just curiosity, it was destiny." And then, just as Arjun thought he couldn't take it anymore, the glow suddenly dimmed, shrinking back inside the box. The room fell silent, leaving only the sound of their breathing. Arjun stood frozen, pale and shaken, his eyes wide. His whole world had changed in one moment. Karen closed the box slowly, his hands trembling slightly. He looked at Arjun and said, "You must keep this safe. Others will come for it, and when they do, neither of us will be ready." The silence after those words was heavier than the glow itself. Arjun realized his life would never be normal again. The human mystery. The box lay on the desk, quiet now, as if nothing had happened, but Arjun couldn't stop staring at it. His hands still shook, his chest heavy. Karen stood beside him, silent, his glowing eyes fixed on the wooden surface. His expression was different now, less calm, more troubled. Arjun finally spoke, his voice weak. "My grandfather. How could he have known about you?" "He was just a man. He told stories, nothing more." Karen's face tightened. "Your grandfather was not just a man," he said. He carried knowledge that no human should. He must have met one of us. Arjun's mind raced, he remembered. His childhood nights, his grandfather sitting on the porch, telling him about the stars. He would point to constellations and whisper, "Out there, boy, is where the truth lives." Back then, Arjun thought they were just bedtime tales, but now, maybe they were warnings. Karen stepped closer. "Tell me, did he ever speak about visitors, strange lights, dreams of the sky?" Arjun hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Yes. He once said the sky called his name. He said he was chosen. I thought it was nonsense." Karen's expression darkened. "It was not nonsense," he said firmly. "It was memory." Arjun's throat tightened. He didn't want to believe it. But the weight of the box told him otherwise. He looked at Karen with desperate eyes. "Why my family? Why me?" Karen turned his gaze to the window, the night sky stretching beyond. "Because your blood carries something rare. Some humans have. A signal, a resonance. It allows them to connect with our technology, to awaken what others cannot." Arjun froze, his stomach twisted. "So you're saying I'm not normal?" Karen turned back. His eyes glowed faintly in the dark. "You are human," he said. "But your spirit, your mind, they are different, and that difference is dangerous." The room fell silent. Arjun felt the walls pressing in. He wanted to scream, to run, but his feet stayed planted. Karen walked to the box again. He traced the carvings with his finger. The symbols glowed faintly under his touch. "This is more than a container," he said. "It is a message, a beacon, a beacon." Arjun's voice cracked. "Yes," Karen whispered. "If it has awakened, others will sense it. They will come." Arjun's stomach dropped. His grandfather's stories suddenly felt like hidden instructions. "Keep the box safe," he had said. Arjun thought he was protecting a piece of family history, but now he realized he was protecting a secret from another world. His voice shook. "So, my grandfather, he wasn't scared. He knew this would happen?" Karen nodded slowly. "He knew he must have hidden it from others. That is why it survived this long." Arjun stepped back, his breathing quick. "This isn't fair," he muttered. "I didn't choose this. I didn't want this." Karen's eyes softened for the first time. "Neither did I," he admitted quietly. "But now we are bound by it, you and I." The box pulsed faintly. As if agreeing, a soft glow flickered. In the cracks, like a sleeping heart waiting to wake again, Arjun stared, his thoughts a storm. His grandfather's voice echoed in his head. "One day you will understand." But instead of answers, he had only more questions. Karen's voice broke the silence, low and sharp. "Listen to me, Arjun. This box is a key, but it is also a curse. If the wrong ones find it, your world will burn." Arjun felt his knees weaken. He grabbed the edge of the desk to steady himself. His voice cracked. "Then what do we do?" Karen looked at him with steady eyes. "We hide it, we protect it, and we prepare." The words sent a chill down Arjun's spine. He had wanted a normal life, classes, exams, friends. But now, he was standing in the middle of a secret that could tear the world apart. And as if to remind him, the box pulsed again, brighter this time. A faint humming filled the room. The lights spilled across the walls, dancing like shadows of another world. Karen's expression hardened. He turned quickly toward the door, his voice urgent. "It's too late. They've sensed it." Arjun's breath caught. "Who?" he whispered. Karen looked at him, eyes glowing sharp like fire. "The ones who want it back." The knock at the door came instantly loud, heavy, and filled with menace. The hidden power of the knock on the door shook the walls. Arjun's heart nearly stopped. He looked at Karen, panic flooding his face. Karen's voice was urgent but steady. "Do not open it." The knock came again, louder, harder, like someone or something was trying to break in. Arjun's chest tightened. He turned back toward the glowing box, but this time, something was different. The light wasn't just spilling out, it was pulsing in rhythm, like a living heartbeat. "Karen," Arjun whispered. "It's moving." Karen's eyes widened. He stepped closer. His hand hovered above the box. "It's awakening," he muttered. "It has chosen you." Arjun's throat went dry. "Chosen me? What do you mean?" Before Karen could answer, the box rattled on its own. The glow sharpened into beams that shot across the room. Symbols appeared in the air floating, glowing shapes that twisted and spun like stars being born. Arjun stumbled back, his voice cracked. "What is it doing?" Karen's face was pale, his voice low. "It's speaking." Arjun stared, confused. "Speaking? I don't hear anything." Karen shook his head quickly. "Not to me, to you." And then Arjun froze, because he did hear something, not with his ears, but inside his head. A whisper, faint at first, then stronger. "Guardian. Guardian." Arjun's hands trembled. He grabbed his head. No, this isn't real." But the voice grew clearer, echoing inside him. "You are the link. You are the keeper." Karen stepped forward sharply. "Arjun, listen carefully. Do not answer it. If you answer, the connection will complete." Arjun's heart thundered. The glow wrapped around his arms like threads of light, warm and heavy. The box wasn't just an object anymore. It was alive. It wanted him. Another crash hit the door. This time the wood cracked. Dust fell from the ceiling. Whoever or whatever was outside was close to breaking in. Arjun's voice shook. "I can't hold it." "Karen, it's pulling me." Karen grabbed his shoulders, eyes burning with fear. "Fight it. It feeds on your will. If you give in, you won't be yourself anymore." But the whisper inside Arjun's head grew louder. The voice wasn't threatening. It was calm, ancient, tempting. "Open, child of Earth. Together, we can protect what is ours." Arjun's vision blurred. He saw flashes strange cities under alien skies, massive towers of light, endless stars spinning in the void. It was overwhelming, beautiful, terrifying. Karen shook him hard. "Arjun, stay with me. That power is not a gift. It is a trap. Once bound, you can never escape." Arjun's knees buckled. The glow from the box surged brighter, flooding the room completely. For a moment, everything vanished: walls, floor, even the door. Only endless light remained, and then, just as sudden, it stopped. The box snapped shut on its own. The glow died. The floating symbols dissolved like smoke. Arjun fell to his knees, panting, sweat dripping from his forehead. His body trembled. His hands still tingled with the strange energy. The door shook again, harder this time. Splinters flew from the wood. Karen leaned close, his voice harsh and quick. "Now you understand," he said. "This box is no relic. It is a weapon, a forbidden one." Arjun's chest heaved. He couldn't believe it. "A weapon?" Karen nodded sharply. "Yes, and you, because of your bloodline, you can control it. That is why they are here. That is why they will not stop." The sound of cracking wood filled the room. The lock snapped. Karen's eyes burned bright, his voice sharp. "They found us. Whatever happens next, do not let them take the box." The door exploded inward, splinters flying. Shadows moved in the doorway, tall figures, their eyes burning with cold light. And in that moment, Arjun realized the truth. He wasn't just protecting a family secret anymore. He was standing at the center of a war he never knew existed. The real threat. The door burst open with a violent crack. Wood splintered across the floor. Arjun staggered back as three tall figures stepped into the room. Their bodies were wrapped in dark suits, their eyes glowing with pale silver light. The air grew heavy. It felt colder, sharper, as if the oxygen itself didn't want to stay. Karen moved in front of Arjun quickly, his body tense. His glowing marks lit up faintly across his arms. "Stay behind me," he whispered. One of the intruders stepped forward. His voice was deep, echoing unnaturally. "So, the box is awakened." His glowing eyes fixed on Arjun, not Karen, and in the hands of a child. Arjun's heart pounded. He wanted to run, but his legs refused. His hands itched as if the box still pulsed inside his skin. Karen's tone turned sharp. "Leave now. It does not belong to you." The intruder tilted his head, a strange smile flickering across his face. "Oh, but it does. That box belongs to us." "And to him." He pointed straight at Arjun. Arjun's chest tightened. "Me?" he whispered. The figure nodded slowly. "Yes, boy. You think your alien friend here is telling you the truth? He hides things from you, just like your grandfather did." Arjun froze. His mind spun. "My grandfather?" "Yes," the intruder said, stepping closer. His voice turned smoother, almost gentle. "Your grandfather was one of us, a guardian. He betrayed his duty by giving you the box. Do you know what that means? It means you were never meant to live an ordinary life." Arjun shook his head quickly. "No, you're lying. He was just a teacher, a normal man." The intruder's smile widened. "A teacher?" "Yes, but not of children. He taught us. He kept secrets that even this one," he pointed at Cairn, "doesn't know." Cairn's body stiffened. His marks glowed brighter. "Do not listen. They twist the truth." But doubt crawled inside Arjun's mind. His grandfather's strange stories, his warnings about the box, the way he always stared at the night sky as if it were calling him, it all echoed now. The second intruder stepped forward, his voice harsher. "Hand it over, boy. Give us the box and we will let you live." Cairn growled under his breath, his eyes sharp as blades. "If you take it, you will destroy this world." The intruder laughed coldly. "This world? This tiny rock floating in darkness? You think it matters? The box belongs to the stars, not to Earth." Arjun's breathing quickened. Sweat ran down his face. He looked at Cairn, then at the intruders. His mind burned with questions. Who was lying? Who was telling the truth? The box on the desk began to hum again, glowing faintly as if it sensed danger. The sound vibrated through Arjun's bones. The third intruder finally spoke, his voice low and commanding. "You feel it, don't you, boy? The box responds to you. It calls you. You are its rightful keeper, not him." He gestured at Cairn. "He only wants to use you." Arjun's stomach twisted. He looked at Cairn quickly. "Is that true?" he whispered. Cairn's jaw clenched. His eyes burned with intensity. "No, Arjun, I swore to protect you. I swore to protect this world." But the intruder's voice slithered into Arjun's thoughts. "And yet he never told you the full truth. Did he tell you why his kind hid the box here? Did he tell you what price was paid?" Arjun's head throbbed. His grandfather's voice echoed faintly in his memory. "Keep it safe. Even if it costs you everything." The glow from the box sharpened suddenly. Light burst outward, sweeping across the intruders. They hissed and stumbled back. Their silver eyes flickered as if blinded. Cairn grabbed Arjun's wrist, pulling him close, his voice sharp. "This is your choice, Arjun. Trust me, or trust them." The intruders steadied themselves, stepping forward again. Their voices rose together, strange and powerful. "The boy belongs to us." The air trembled, the walls shook, and Arjun stood frozen between two sides, his alien classmate who saved him, and the intruders who claimed his grandfather was one of them. The box pulsed violently, glowing brighter than ever. Arjun felt it burning inside his chest, like it was waiting for his answer. And in that instant, he understood. Whatever choice he made now would decide not just his fate, but the fate of the world. The human spirit in the room trembled as the intruders stepped closer. Their silver eyes burned like cold fire. The box pulsed wildly, its glow spilling across Arjun's skin, wrapping him in threads of light. Cairn moved in front of him again, his glowing marks burning brighter than ever. "Stay behind me," he growled, but Arjun's chest was heavy. His heart beat against the glow of the box. He knew it wasn't just Cairn's fight anymore. It was his. The lead intruder raised his hand, a blade of energy forming from thin air. His voice echoed with command. "The boy is ours. Hand him over." Arjun felt the pull of the box, the whispers calling him. "Guardian. Fight. Protect." His head throbbed, but deep inside, a thought rose clear and sharp. "I don't need to be chosen. I choose myself." He stepped forward, past Cairn, his hands shaking but his eyes steady. "No," he said, his voice cracked, but held firm. "You won't take it. You won't take me." The intruders froze. Their silver eyes narrowed. One hissed, "You are only human. You cannot stand against us." Arjun clenched his fists. The box's glow wrapped tighter around him. His voice rose, stronger this time. "Maybe I am only human, but that's enough." The box flared like a living star. A wave of light blasted outward. The intruders staggered, their silver eyes flickering in pain. Cairn shielded his face, but when he looked again, his eyes were wide in shock. The energy wasn't destroying the room, it was bending to Arjun's will. For the first time, the box wasn't in control. He was the intruders snarled, forcing themselves forward. One swung the energy blade down. Arjun raised his hands instinctively, and the light surged, forming a barrier of pure force. The blade shattered against it. Cairn whispered in awe, "Impossible. Only a bonded one could do this." Arjun's legs trembled, his arms burned, but he refused to back down. "You said I was just human," he shouted at the intruders. "And you're right, but that's why you'll lose, because humans don't. Give up." The box's voice whispered again inside him, softer this time, almost proud. "Guardian." With a cry, Arjun pushed his hands outward. The barrier exploded into a wave of blinding light. It swept through the room, knocking the intruders off their feet. Their silver eyes flickered violently. Their suits cracked with sparks. They hissed in rage before collapsing into the shadows. Disappearing as if pulled back into the dark, silence fell. The light dimmed slowly. The box grew quiet, its glow fading into a faint pulse. Arjun collapsed to his knees, panting. His whole body shook, but his eyes burned with something new strength. Cairn rushed to his side, grabbing his shoulder. His voice was low but filled with respect. You did it." Arjun shook his head weakly. "No, we did it." He looked at Cairn, his lips curling into a faint, tired smile. "But don't you see? It wasn't the box that saved us. It wasn't alien power, it was choice. It was me deciding not to give up." Cairn stared at him for a long moment. His glowing eyes softened, almost human. "Now I understand," he said quietly. "This is why your kind is feared. Not for your weapons, not for your strength, but for your spirit." Arjun lowered his gaze to the box, still pulsing faintly like a sleeping heart. His grandfather's words echoed in his head. "Keep it safe," he whispered to himself. "I will." Cairn stood and looked toward the broken door. His voice was grim. This was only the beginning. Others will come, stronger than them, and when they do, we must be ready. Arjun pulled himself to his feet. His legs were weak, but his eyes burned with determination. "Then let them come," he said, "because I'm done running." The box pulsed once more, like it agreed. The night outside was silent, but Arjun knew the peace wouldn't last. And for the first time in his life, he wasn't afraid.